They didn't agree it, they were involved in the consultation, because you have to get involved in the consultation. Come round, have a look. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask.
We're just streaming live on Facebook because there'll be people who want to ask questions online who haven't been able to attend tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Stranger.
Have a look, boys, if you like.
Right, and that one, is that the, that's,
Yeah.
right, and this is the one with the velvet support. No, not. Right, green dot. Nothing that way, that's it, and apparently. Right, it's been going on. It's been going on. Exactly. You know, what about it? We found it more important. We're not really more space, what do you mean office spaces? It's like garden centre, it's living man, isn't it? We never really slide.
The lady did the landscape design, she's been delayed on the road, she'll be in 10 minutes. Got any questions on the landscape?
So, this here is Coppull Lane.
Nana's there.
Yeah, your nana lives there. And then this is the river that comes down here. And there's the waterfall.
Yeah.
And these are the initial houses that they're looking to build.
So now we're going near the river.
Not yet.
Where's it going to go behind Nana?
And maybe further.
No, it is.
Sorry. It's just there, which is that top section there.
And it's just the same ones, it just
There's only
show it
three,
did.
and then it's just all-
Yeah.
It's not the world's biggest room.
So they're going to go right into Birkhead.
No, it's going to go there. What's happening is the landscape people decided that there should be some footpaths put through it. So the footpaths are going to go through it to some breakout spaces there. It was supposed to be a bridge across there, but the council didn't want it. They said work the footpaths back to there. So the only development is that. They asked would we reinstate the hedgerows and put the public footpaths through. So these green public footpaths, they'll be put in, they're just footpaths.
And what about the green belt?
What about the green belt?
Well,
We're not bothered about that.
the-
We live up
Because we
on
live-
Coppull
yeah,
and
we
we're
live-
back onto them
we live
fields
in
and we don't
Coppull.
want it.
Okay, so when you've got a brownfield use in the green belt, yeah, if you've got the very special circumstances, you've got to agree amount of development to replace the brownfield use that's there. And so we went through a process that took 2 years, because I stood up here in the other hall about 2.5 years ago after the thing with the dairy. And what the council, the planners have agreed is that that level of development can justify them getting rid of the dairy. That part of the development, which is custom self-building first-time buyer homes, that's what the council asked us to add. That's why it's ringed in orange.
Who in the council asked you to add that?
The planners and the members of the council.
Alistair Bradley knows best.
Alistair Bradley. Is that right? Is that correct?
He's one of the people involved.
Okay, and have you got any other names at all?
No. So
If you wonder
So
what I'm
in
doing, I'm just
Warrington-
live streaming for all of the Facebook groups, so people who can't come can still see what's
so
happening.
That's the existing farm. That's the existing entrance, yeah? So all we're doing is they're moving the entrance to the left-hand side of the farm, where that substation is.
So we are somewhere down
We're
here.
on here. We don't know that we
So
can
basically we just have.
So when we had the consult, we had a briefing with the planner and the ward councillors, and 2 of the ward councillors, the only 2 of them there, suggested that in Coppull, a medical and dental centre was required. So we added a medical and dental centre in there. That's what that is. It's not
Who's going to get the doctors?
Sorry?
Who's going
We've
to
been
pay
paid for through the development.
But do we need that?
I don't know. That's what the ward councillor said.
Who was
So-
the ward councillors?
It was the lady with
We
the
might
blonde
need
hair
it, but can you
and
get it
Paul.
banned because we can't get any Crawley hospital?
Well, if you build them, then people...
If you build what,
If
sorry?
you build a medical and dental centre.
And how, with the NHS in the crisis it is in, how on earth would you even fund a medical centre?
Privately funded through the development, it's easy.
No, how is it run?
How's it
Once
run?
it's built, how would it, on earth would it be
Doctors who
run?
haven't got places at other places, they come to new facilities.
I think we all know with the crisis that we've got an A&E at the moment that actually wouldn't happen, would it?
Well, it would.
Why do you classify it as brownfield site when they're fields at the moment?
Because
I
the
can see it where the hard standing is, where the farm is. That I think is. But how can you call that brownfield? How can you call that brownfield?
Because when you've got a brownfield use, it's not necessarily the actual footprint of it, it's the amount of development that can be justified to get rid of the commercial use. And that's the amount of development, having gone through a 2-year
It's not
process.
commercial use, it's a farm.
It's a commercial dairy.
It's not.
It is a commercial
It
dairy.
isn't
It's
anymore.
got certificate of lawfulness use as a commercial dairy.
It's agriculture.
It's
It's a commercial dairy.
It's greenbelt.
It's a commercial
It's
dairy.
It's
But
greenbelt.
they were
commercial.
moved 3 years ago.
It's
Sorry?
greenbelt.
They
It's
were moved
greenbelt.
3 years
They weren't moved 3
It
years
isn't
ago.
because
Oh,
they're...
sorry, just on that.
You want to
Look, how
spend?
many more- So what was agreed between the council and the planners, because I only got involved right at the end with the dairy. So what was agreed between the council and the planners is, we go away and come up with an alternative to the dairy, because at the time, and I went to several of the meetings, I went to the planning meeting even though I didn't do it, people were up in arms. So what was agreed was, until such times there was an alternative that was acceptable to the council, they'd stop using the building. That's all it did. That's
Well,
exactly what
that's
it did.
ceased to be a dairy.
It's not ceased to be a dairy.
It isn't.
It can be a
It
dairy,
ceased
then
to
we
be a
don't care
dairy.
if it's a
They've
dairy.
opened a brand new unit in Skelmersdale.
It's a dry
And
powder
they've
plant.
replaced it.
I got the planning on it.
Yeah.
There's no point you telling me what it is.
We
There's
don't
no-
care if it's a
There's no
dairy.
powder being dried there at the moment.
Is there not?
No,
Yeah, well there isn't then.
no.
Well there isn't. Of course there is.
No, where are they working? Are they working up the lane, up
Couple of lanes,
Coppull
working
Lane,
at Scan.
or are they working at Scan?
What was agreed was the
that
dairy,
wasn't the
the
question.
dairy,
The question
well,
was,
the dairy,
where are
the
they
dairy
working?
was
Answer
going,
the
the
question.
dairy was going to be kept dormant until we came up with an alternative. If the alternative not acceptable, they just reopen the dairy.
Well, what about selling the farm off to another farmer? The fact that we...
Understand?
It's just in planning
No, the
terms.
number of people
Yeah,
from Chorley, Exton, Leyland, go down Burkacre.
yep.
Burkacre is it's a beautiful place.
I'm not saying it isn't.
And
Did
they've
you-
got bloody
did
houses
you
all
know
around.
that-
I'm not
Why do
talking.
you put bloody houses all
It's
over
nothing to do
Burkacre?
with it. I'm just telling.
I
Look,
know what I'm saying is,
Right.
everybody in this
Yeah.
area don't want houses in Burkacre.
We want a
And that's
green
what, that's what Wilcox are doing. And it's bollocks. It is bollocks,
Well-
to be honest with you.
well-
It is, isn't it? Let's be honest, that is,
We're not
it is
I'm
green,
being
it
honest.
is
That's
green.
what we've agreed with the council, with the planning department, the council, as an acceptable amount of development to get rid of the
I
dairy.
think we should be having an argument. We should be
Excuse
having
me.
an argument with the council. Because the bloody council that I pay my rate
Peter,
to,
Peter, can you just let...
Excuse me, you can't say that you've agreed that with the council, because the
Exactly.
council have agreed nothing yet. And wait a minute, the other thing is that this council, our council, is miles ahead, years ahead with the planned housing. Planned
Exactly.
housing.
No, that-
It
that's
doesn't
right.
need any more because it's years ahead.
Well, just put the dairy back.
We've got.
Good, put the dairy back. No problem. We prefer cows to houses.
No, commercial dairy is what
We
it is.
prefer cows.
Is that your red herring, sir? Is that your red herring for this evening? To get us all to say we want the dairy back?
Look, if you want the dairy back, or you want an housing or any
That's
comment,
your red herring, isn't it? That's what you want us all to say.
Yeah.
That's what you want us all to say. We're quite happy with as it is, and I think you can see that with everybody that's in here tonight.
Well, come in, look at the information, make any comments you want. Any comments will be handed in. We do other things like this in other places. Any comments will be handed in and taken account.
Sorry, I obviously got a little late. So who are you?
I'm
well,
very much
I'm against it because it's green belt.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm a
Green
planning
belt,
consultant and
definitely.
I put the planning application in, or I put this together following the dairy permission.
But why do we need these houses when we've been allocated for 2026?
I'm
We
just
don't need
saying,
them.
it's
We
not
don't
to do
need
with
them,
that.
do we?
Not to do with that, it's to do with the replacement. It's to do with the replacement of a
Need the
dairy
houses.
in the
We
green
don't
belt.
have a quarter.
What about selling the farm off so an actual farmer can farm it?
That's not my decision.
Seen as the fact by 2030, with the increase in housing and the loss of farming land, we're going to have a food crisis. We're going to have a farming crisis.
So what I suggest is those who've had a look round, if you go and get a cup of tea, it'll give the opportunity for other people to. We sent 1,000 leaflets and we were
There are 8,000 people in the village.
haven't had one. We haven't had one, and we're back on to the Nobody can.
Listen, we've given up our time. If people are going to be rude, I'll just
We're not
talk.
being rude.
I've got a family at home.
It's rude not to inform.
We were told
Can I
to,
just say
excuse me,
something?
we were told to arrange the meeting with the parish council, and this was the only room they could let us have. End of subject.
I think you needed a bigger
We
room.
wanted a bigger room. We even tried to get a bigger room. Tried. This is the room. This is the room you go.
Why are you working on greenbelt? I mean, you're so close to
How are you expecting
beautiful nature.
It's a piece of land that my clients
And what
own.
about the River Yarrow? All that muck will go down the River Yarrow and it will go to Eccleston and Croston. Of course it will. All the muck that you're making will have it at the front and the back of those. And they cannot be tankers going, they can be flinging building wagons.
Chapel Lane is the only...
I know. Have you seen Chapel Lane? It's true then, one of them flinging mass journey. We'll have it
Well, I
back
don't
and
know
front
about
of
Chapel
those.
Lane.
Because one comes through there. That's the reason.
Can I just say something? I'm aware of where you leafleted, and it was targeted specifically. And that was, yes it was, Jolly Tower Lane got one, Coppull Lane, but not everybody, Chapel Lane. And a little bit of Sunnybrow, and just a bit of Longworth Avenue. Nobody else has had
we haven't had
anything.
any,
And if you think
Done off the
that is
main
a
roads.
public-
We have 1,300 followers on Facebook who all know what they have
A
got.
private company that issues leaflets.
We predicted you said that.
No, it wasn't.
It was that you were
Wasn't it?
targeting and frightening people that they don't want the wagons. There aren't any at the moment.
It's done off the main roads.
Well, then when they're flinging,
It's done off the main roads.
instead, building will get them.
Greenbelt,
Yeah.
they can have broken buildings. It doesn't have...
In certain circumstances where you have the very special circumstances.
What are the circumstances?
Depends on the different site. This is the fact that there's a brownfield use of a commercial dairy.
It's Greenbelt.
Needs to replace it.
Greenbelt, it's Greenbelt. I've got their
This is Greenbelt land.
Greenbelt can only be built on for leisure or for social housing, and only then in extreme circumstances.
Yeah. Well, you build
You cannot just build on Greenbelt.
Make a suggestion. The people who own this don't own Jolly Tower.
It's not a brownfield site.
Sorry?
It is not a
Planning
brownfield
terms,
site.
Here, here, Michael, you're right.
Yeah, it's not been demolished. It's not brownfield. It's greenbelt.
Doesn't have to be.
I'm sorry, it is greenbelt, and you're way out of order.
This gentleman has also informed us that he's been speaking to the council, and the council have given him ideas on what to do.
They have.
Isn't it?
Which particular side, look at?
No, I can't.
Oh no, we can answer that. He answered, he gave names.
I don't believe in bloody council.
Oh, well, we need to find the names, don't we?
Yes, Michael, we need to know on behalf
We need to know
who's against us.
Yes, definitely.
Who wants to destroy the
Because this is
lives
just
of
the
the
start.
people in this area?
Is anybody going upstairs and asking if we can have a bigger room? Because I think we need it. Do you want it, guys? You can squeeze through.
Can I suggest?
If not, you can watch live on your phone outside.
Give the other people an opportunity.
We're trying to organise a bigger room for you, then you can speak to everyone.
With respect, it's our meeting, we've arranged it, we'll do it our way now, or I'm...
And it's our greenbelt.
So you're not willing to listen to what the majority of the community have to say?
Write something on there. When it comes in for planning,
No,
write it to
no,
the
this is a
council.
consultative meeting. You've invited us to a consultative meeting. Have the decency
Public
to
display.
have the decency to give us a proper venue instead of some
I
little
was
room.
told to arrange it with the parish council. Did we not ask, could we have a bigger room?
Well, I'm sorry, this is not sufficient.
Well, fine.
You've been given a room upstairs till 6:45. I suggest
Would
we
you
all
like to
go
move
up there.
upstairs?
Well, we've got a meeting. We've arranged with
And you
the
can't
other
get all
people.
these
Well,
people.
I'm sorry, if
Till
you're
8 o'clock.
walking away from a consultative meeting, it's only
I'm staying here.
consultative.
You did not
Staying
book the space for the 1,000 people you believe.
I didn't say it was
They
1,000
bring the
people.
space,
It's
they don't
You knew that because it's already in the petition.
1,000 people.
I think you expected the people you wanted to come.
That's right. You post leaflets to say you're going to build on Greenbelt and you don't expect
Leaflets? What
objections.
leaflets? We didn't get
Then
no leaflets.
You're a fool and shouldn't be doing your job.
Well,
the room upstairs is
excuse me,
available to
we
you.
did one in Rochdale about 6 weeks ago, and there was only 180 people.
This is
in
not
Rochdale.
Rochdale.
This is Coppull.
But you can't!
Coppull.
There isn't room for 180 people.
No. We have space upstairs. We've taken the courtesy of booking it for you. Please move your things, and all these people need to be at this consultation.
We've booked 3 hours, I believe.
Should we all go upstairs?
Yeah.
This is what you have. This is what you have.
God, you've grown really big. Yeah. Oh, look at you two. You're beautiful big boys, aren't you? You don't remember me, do you?
Boys, what do you think of them building these houses?
I know.
You're live on Facebook, William. What do you think of them building these houses?
It's not right.
To pick up the little boys. Consultants.
It will ruin your countryside for when you get older, won't it?
Yeah.
There you go, you see. We've got to think of our next generation.
Did the property owners not want to come today? I've been asked, excuse me, what's his name? I've just been asked a question, sorry, live on Facebook that I need to ask. Pardon? I'm not sure who it is.
Well, I'm not answering that.
It's called Michael Zand.
Oh, yeah, the guy in Dubai.
Yes, who's been born and bred here and he's coming back. He has a question and he said, where are the woodcocks?
Where the woodcocks?
Yes, and why aren't they here this evening?
Perhaps he shouldn't suggest that people should go and put bricks through the windows.
He's never suggested that.
I've got
Is
it.
that an allegation?
He suggested people go up to their house.
No, he suggested that
I'm
people
not
go to...
speaking any further.
I would like to defend
Sent
Mr.
to
Zand.
Lancashire County Police. So I've nothing more to say about it.
Okay, so
I've nothing more to say about it. Or to him.
he said to go and video them like I'm doing now and ask them questions. That is slanderous allegations of what you're saying there about Mr. Zand.
I've got it on a Facebook page.
Have you? So have we. We keep copies of everything. We deleted it because of other comments that were being made, sir. Moving upstairs.
Greenbelt, 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 Greenbelt. Where's the brownfield site you're building on? This is Greenbelt. It's not available. Can we take them upstairs? There's a room upstairs. Can we take them upstairs? There's a room upstairs. We're taking your things upstairs, but there's room for everybody to see. I am against it.
Is the gentleman coming with us?
Surely they're not coming here today. There's just these gentlemen here to flip you over with 1,000 leaflets to deliver and expect you to turn up. Should we take our things? Take your things upstairs?
1,000 leaflets, we didn't get any.
Plenty of room upstairs.
Just tell him it's called door steeping. Door steeping. It's called door steeping. What he said. He won't listen because I know he can hear me.
Door steeping. What's door steeping?
Door steeping is when you go and knock on somebody's door and ask them a question live, and they have a very, very quick time to react and to answer. It's a media thing, and that's what he was suggesting. Anyway, back to normal.
One of the ward councillors said additional classroom space is required in Coppull. The head of planning says no, there isn't, because it's up to the county council to determine that. So they said, well, how can you do it? And I explained with the head of planning how it could be done. And it was a question then whether or not the ward councillors could get the county council to bring whether there were any districts.
William, yeah, that's it.
My issue is not.
We're going upstairs.
My issue is not.
I believe it was one of the crime districts. I don't know which one because they said
Everybody, we've got the room upstairs. The plans have been taken up there. Okay, if we can all now move upstairs. If these two gentlemen don't choose to follow, they can hardly claim that they've held a consultative meeting. Are you with me? Right. Can everybody everybody move upstairs, please.
How?
2 classrooms per school.
No.
It says these. So you're going to do 2 classrooms.
Everybody move upstairs, now, please.
Can I just have some clarification on an issue?
Houses that you're going to build.
You know the offer of classroom and adopted surgery. Is that on top of the community infrastructure levy money, or is that the infrastructure levy? Because to offer stuff like that is not your gift. The council, the district council, or the planning authority will have to decide if the planning permission goes ahead, what amount of community infrastructure levy will be applied. You pay them that money, and they decide whether or not it goes into schools or whether it goes into doctor's surgery. Clinical commissioning group will have something to say about it, so it would be misleading to offer anything to the community because it's not in your gift as a developer or as a landowner or as an agent to make that offer because it's not for you to make.
Can I part of the planning process? How's it working out between the county council and Chorley councils up to them?
Mr. Holgate.
This week has been absolutely
Mr. They mean nothing because it's not in your gift.
Who gives you the right to get planning on Greenbelt land? And do you think you're going to get it? Can you sleep at night knowing? Oh well. Some of us have integrity. How do you have integrity? Trying to get Greenbelt built on.
We started this 3 years ago to get rid of dairy. That's what started this.
The dairy was illegal, just like this is.
It was running illegally. They built buildings.
Legal permission.
Not the way they were running it. Not the way they were running it.
The noise they were making was illegal.
It is a semi-rural farm. It is a semi-rural farm in a semi-rural area, and they were trying to run an industrial business.
They got permission for it.
Not for what
They got a certificate of lawful use. They did.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's the permission there.
Greenbelt is Greenbelt. Go and find a brownfield site or some industrial unit to go and develop. Greenbelt stays that way.
I think your meeting says that the village doesn't approve.
Sorry?
So the field is flooded now.
Yeah.
They'll be moving.
Yeah, go on then. What's the plan on that? You're the
Because
planner.
there's a design being done that the water from the site goes down into the river at the bottom.
So where does the rest of that water go?
Where's that water going to go?
Most of the water on the site goes through rainwater harvesting tanks that go back through the house, and there's only 10% of the water from the houses actually.
Okay.
We've got
Just
an
a minute
engineer.
for you, just for clarification. Leader of the council, Alistair Bradley, is on his way. Anyone who's saying
Alistair Bradley's on his way, sir.
Alistair Bradley's on his way
Alistair Bradley's on his way
to create some clarification.
because he's already said that Alistair Bradley is giving these. What was it you said about Alistair Bradley, sir?
I've said that people in the council have been aware about this for a long time.
No, you said you consulted them and they said that this is what you can do. That's what you said just before.
I said that amount of development justifies getting rid of the commercial dairy. That's what.
And you said that that's what Alistair Bradley said.
Alistair is on his way. All right.
Alistair's on his way.
Good.
Are we going upstairs now then? Are you coming up? Are you coming upstairs? You might as well, otherwise you're just going to look silly.
We've got the room upstairs till the 7, and obviously there's a lot of people. The idea
We're going upstairs.
Where do you put your things when you fill them in?
Just put no building. That's all I'm going to write.
Put on Greenbelt, no houses.
Yeah. Right, come on, let's go upstairs. We're going upstairs. We've got a bigger room upstairs.
Well, yeah, there's hundreds of people in
Yeah, he's coming. Are they? Okay, we're going up.
Oh, that room's squishy.
It is. Well done, Steve. You're live, by the way, just to let you know. We're live streaming on our Save Our Greenbelt at U Tree Farm page. Where are we going? Upstairs? We've got a bigger room, even though they didn't want to move up, but we've got a bigger room and we're now going upstairs. Oh wow. Come on, Coppull.
All right.
You're live. You're live. You got anything to say? I'd like to do a show of hands. I don't know where this is going. This needs to go up somewhere. Okay, no, I've got to put it up somewhere. Yes, just to let you know, you're live on Facebook.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay, let's put that here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go and stand back in the back.
Do you want to see it? Well, then I'll move up a bit.
Sorry. Wait, stay with them. Sorry. Well done, people of Coppull. John to speak. They won't come up.
Good evening, everybody. For my sins, I used to be chairman of the Development Control Committee on Chorley Borough Council. I am now your county councillor. I know a great deal about planning legislation, and I know that the local plan that was adopted just a couple of years ago by Chorley Borough Council does not show any development in the area that's being proposed downstairs. It is designated as Greenbelt. In order for Greenbelt to be overturned and become development land, it has to be in the local plan, and it isn't. There are two exceptions to that. One is if there is low-cost housing being provided, and can be demonstrated that it is needed within a parish, but there's a cap of only 10 properties on that, so obviously this doesn't apply to that. The other exception to the rule is if it can be demonstrated that there are benefits greater than the disbenefit of losing Greenbelt land for the community. Now, what these characters are doing downstairs is trying to say, well, we'll give you a new GP surgery and a couple of classrooms. Well, you know, you can make your own mind up. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, you're right. The clinical commissioning group are the people who provide the finances for GPs. Will have something to say about that. So they may well be able to provide a building, but they certainly won't be able to provide a service. So it's a nonsense. The reality is that if a development goes ahead, then if it's over a certain amount of properties, then there's a thing called SIL money, Community Infrastructure Levy, that's applied to the developer. That money is handed over, I think it's about 80% to the district council, 20% to the parish council, and they will determine how that is spent in the best interests of the community. So even if this development does go ahead, which I am convinced it will not, because nobody in their right mind at the district council is going to approve this application, then it is not in the gift of these people downstairs to offer you anything. They would have to hand over the money, and the district council, the people you vote for and represent you, will decide on your behalf how best to spend that money. So do not take anything as gospel from what's being said downstairs, because I was running in there a couple of minutes. He was saying Alistair Bradley, the leader of the council, said this and said that. I rung Alistair up only 5 minutes ago. I said, have you said these things? No, I've not said anything like that. So he was aware that there's an aspiration by these people to develop the land. He said to them over 12 months ago, well, if that's what you want to do, you know, I can't stop you from putting a planning application in. That is your given right. But I can tell you now, the community will not like it. And what they've done is they've taken a punt. They think, right, you know, there's a lot of money to be made if we can. The star is born, eh? The star is born. Right, well, you know, I've had my say. I just wanted to clarify the situation. You're the people with the power in your hands. You make.
Tell us what we can do when we do it.
Well, the first thing you need to do. The first thing you need to do is fill in those forms that they've got downstairs, but also make sure what you put on there, because they will ask you, do you want a surgery? Do you want another junior school? Well, of course you do, but that's not the issue. The issue is, do you want this land developing? And I think I know the answer to that question.
To whom do you write? Because there are no addresses on anywhere.
Well, this is a propaganda exercise on their behalf.
Well, where are they? Who are they?
We have done the doorway today. Can I piece of paper that says we'd love you to do this? It isn't going to happen.
Yeah. Can I just say something? There is an online petition which is addressed to Chorley Council. And if you sign that petition, well, where is it? It's online.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to copy. We've got paper copies. This is something that we've heard. Local shops will have paper copies in the shops for you to sign, and we will make sure that they get to the council.
Can I just say that before I mention the fact that I'm the county councillor, so I do not sit on the borough council, who is a council that will decide any planning application if it ever comes to pass. One of your county councillors is here. Sorry, one of your district councillors is here. Richard too. The other two, I think, are on their way. So I think it's only right that Richard, and he also sits on the planning committee. So he's got to be very careful about what he says to you, because there's such a thing called predetermination. So if he says never in a month for Sundays, not over my dead body, he would ban himself from actually voting on the day. So if you ever listen to what Richard has to say, he can make things a little more clear, if that's okay.
Okay, just say a few words.
This is local councillor Richard.
Councillors that represent that area, Coppull. Okay? Richard too lived in Coppull for a long time, since the early 1970s. And I have been a county councillor on the county planning committee. My start in politics was actually in the very early 1980s, when people were coming forward with proposals for open cast mining between Coppull and Adlington. Had that gone through, there would be a bloody big hole, in the ground. When it was emptied of the coal, it would have been filled up then as a tip. Now that was how I got into politics, because I was doing exactly what you're doing. I was absolutely livid about it, got a campaign going, and we won on that. Now that's all those years ago, and I moved on from that campaign. I got on the parish council for quite a few years, I was a county councillor. Where's it gone, Steve? I was a county councillor for 12 years, and I thought I'd retired from it all, but I had my arm twisted and got back onto the borough council 2.5 years ago. Now, I've got to be careful what I say, because being on the planning committee, which is unlike Roy and Margaret that are not on the planning committee.
And I'm not a councillor here anyway.
No, but you live in the area,
I
and
do.
you are on the council. So they can say and do things that I, at the moment, can't say and do. So I've got to be careful what I say, because on the planning committee, it's a bit like you being on a jury, right? So you've got to be totally objective in taking the evidence for and against the guilty partner or the alleged guilty partner, and then you make up your mind on the evidence. So this hasn't come to the planning commission yet, so I'm going to talk not about this application, I'm going to talk about me and my view about planning. Okay? Yeah. Right. So I've given you a little potted history of how I got into all this stuff, and that was on the county council, where we looked at just big issues like minerals. Should we dig a big hole in the ground to get coal out of? Full stop. Once there is a hole in the ground, should we fill it up with rubbish? Full stop. That's the sort of thing that the county council does. The borough council, in planning terms, does things like, should you be allowed to have an extension on your house? Or should you be allowed to build a house in your garden? Or should there be a development along Chapel Lane, those houses that have been built? That's the sort of stuff. And it makes the decision on, should there be any future development at all, one house, 50 houses, anywhere in and around, well, I mean, I represent Coppull, but we look across the whole of the borough. Now, I don't know whether people have explained to you, but there's a thing called a local plan. And, you know, we can send out information and show you. And the way that planning works across the borough is that the borough has to do a lot of work to develop a thing called a local plan. And there is one that runs to 2026. And there's a lot of very, very careful work has to be done and a lot of consultation. And what it basically says is, we know that we have to provide for some houses because, you know, there's more people around and there's people like me getting grey-haired and, you know, elder folks want a different sort of house than they lived in when they were a family. And, you know, so there's a need for new housing, there's a need for social housing, people who can't afford a house, that need something, we used to call them council houses, but we don't build council houses now. We need social houses. So, I will. So, there is a local plan, and that has areas in Coppull, in red, where houses can be built. And the latest few that are going to be built, 75, and next to the mill, you know, Coppull Ring Mill, well, that was area that was identified for housing, and some's going to go there. If it's not a little area in red.
Who's Graham Huxton, the guy? Right, can we cut Richard?
There's little bits for industrial development. The rest of it is green belt. And if it's green belt, then during the plan period, essentially, there has got to be no development there. Now, there's one or two little ifs and buts. So if you've got a farm, for example, okay, and it's that big, and you knock it down, you can ask for planning permission to replace something on that footprint. So that is possible. It has to be decided by the planning committee, but in that case, it is possible to agree. Now, I'm saying nothing about Yew Tree Farm, but it's only on the footprint of the building. Otherwise, if it's green belt, then the policy is for no development in green belt. Okay? So that's where we're at, and that's where I'm at. Okay?
Can I just come in for a minute? Now, I'm Councillor Royal East, Charliebury Council, but my ward and Margaret's ward is South West. We've not done this as councillors. We've done this as residents of Coppull. Because we think that the green belt should be protected. It's not just this green belt. They get permission to do this green belt, then all the other green belts, all around Charliebury, are all, they can build anywhere. And the developers will choose the prime site as opposed to allocated sites. Now, it's going to be said, they're using the, well, somebody said tonight that they haven't got permission to do the processing of milk. They have. They've got permission to do 450,000 litres of process of milk a week, as long as it's done between 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. No vehicle movements after that. Now what they're saying initially is that the only way they can get development in Greenbelt, according to the government legislation, is if they can prove that the benefit exceeds the harm. And what they're saying is that if they stop the processing of this 450,000 litres of milk, it will be, that's the benefit, and that will exceed the harm of building the houses. I've said to them that the people in Coppull Lane, people on all around about, they would rather have the 320 lorries coming down the lane.
Which don't anyway.
But let's say they are. Let's say they are 320 per week. They want us to do away with that for at least 150 cars per day coming down the lane. Now, to me, that's more harm than benefit. There's more pollution in 150 cars per day than there is in 320 wagons per week.
And then you've got
So,
to go home and widen the road.
so what my objection is, the people who are affected by it will see more harm to the Greenbelt than the benefit that they will get. Now, whether there's an ulterior way of action for them that we don't know about, that's got to be seen. There may be, and if you look at the website that's on the Facebook page, you will see links to other things. Now, that in a way, if they're talking about other building, because of special circumstances, then there are other areas of land within the local plan, which goes up to 2026, that haven't been built on. Why can't they put what they're asking for on those plots? There is no need, there's no extra need for additional spaces at this moment in time. And I will be defending, as a resident, the safeguarding of the green belt.
What was the lady's question over there?
What was the lady's question?
Just a couple of things I want to ask. What I'm confused with is on the plan when it says 2026.
Forget that.
Well, that's
Somebody's
not
put.
because everybody's talking
No,
about this local
forget
plan
that. Well,
up to
let's,
2026,
can I just
so
say
they
something
have
about
this
that?
minute from 2026.
Somebody put this section, the second this phase on this one
Yeah.
we're talking about. They superimposed it on a map of Burkett. It shows phase 1 agreed, which hasn't been agreed yet.
Is
That's
that over Lower Berg Way?
that's at the end of Lower Berg
Yeah.
Way, and that's will probably be heard by the planning application in January. Phase 2 is now saying that's phase 1. Phase 2 is what this is, the whole of this area. And what they're saying is, so if this goes ahead, what's going to be phase 3 in 2026?
But it's not actually accurate.
It's scaremongering,
Yeah.
but it's not even been
This
thing.
plan was up to 2026. Is this a way to find a loophole where they can get around it?
Well, there is going to be another local plan in 2026.
Yeah.
That's got to be worked on up to then. I've no idea. I mean, I'm on the LDF committee. We've not started the work on finding out what's happening and what we're going to do. There's a lot of things to consider. As Richard said, it took ages to do this plan, considering everybody puts in what they would like the land to own. And then the council consider it on an infrastructure basis, and they have different grades. Now, the land on what's going down Lower Berg Way, that is on grade 4, which is undesirable at this present stage due to lack of infrastructure. Now, people are arguing that infrastructure has to be put in, so they've done 150 years, infrastructure still hasn't been put in, so why should they get the remainder? So they're fighting that on that. But in this case, it's not even in the local plan.
No. But you understand that's what I was thinking. I thought, if it's going to local plan,
No.
are they going to sneakily, or it's going to start happening
No,
from
can I
then? Do you know what I mean?
There's a gentleman that wanted to ask a question.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I think it'd be wrong.
I'm not.
I'm Lindsay, you set up the online petition.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Basically, I wasn't doing for that. I've got a date on the council when I set it all up, the time through change. Can we move that way, please? There's nobody can get
They're not for me, they're for England. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I have a set time. I've got to go anyway.
All right, Susan.
Oh no, the petition will go, as far as I'm concerned, up to the submission of a plan.
So I'm all right. Just keep
Carry going,
I
yeah.
just keep
There was
going.
many
Oh, this bit, yeah. This
Can I
gentleman.
just give you one piece of factual information? And I'm
I
not,
will.
I'm not talking about any planning application, but whenever there is a development, then whoever develops it has to contribute some money towards the possibility for expanding schools. And also for other things like, if there's not enough play areas, or if there's not enough allotments or things like that. Now, it's not as though the developer is offering that as either a bribe or a favour. The only way we get additional money for additional buildings onto schools is by skimming off a bit of money from developers. So any discussion about a gesture, the reality is you have to. Any development, all these houses that are going up on Coppull Lane, or the developments that took place at the end of the village a couple of years ago, whatever, there's a chunk of money being taken from the developer, it's put in the bank for schools by the county council until such time as there is a need to expand one or other school. So there's no offer. As they say in Wigan, they have to do it. Yeah? They have to do it.
It's not guaranteed that that money will stay.
Right, can I just ask? There's a gentleman that wants to speak here. No, I know. There's a gentleman that wants to speak here.
If
I
our
know.
local council turn this down, which I'm sure they will do, can they appeal to
They
the
can
national
appeal.
government?
They
Yes,
can.
yes.
And there's no proof that. There's
Right.
no saying whether they'll get it or not.
Right, can I just say something? I was aware that Graham Luxton, the agent for Woodcock, said that he was going to do a public consultation. He was asked who would get them. Everybody would get a leaflet. Now, I was aware that this wasn't happening because when you were in London, I was ringing up people in Coppull Lane, have you got one? No. Other areas? No. So my daughter said, come on, we'll start a Facebook page, and it's escalated, and I'm really proud of people who joined it.
And
of
we've
course,
got
then
90
Lindsay-
people online watching this right now, which is
and
amazing.
Lindsay, thankfully, also did. So everybody's taken a part because I don't want to take a lead, and I want everybody to be part of it. And I'm aware, and I know that the Woodcocks have been watching the page, and there's probably some here as well. But I have stipulated I don't want any personal things against them. And I think it's very important because what we're fighting about is building on our precious green belt land. And what I'd like you to do, really, is I think we'll go around with a petition door by door, and I'm quite willing to do that, and I think there's plenty. And we need to present it to the council. But what I would like also is, can we have a show of hands, please? Who's against building on the green belt?
We just want to video it live, okay?
You're all looking at live. Oh, me as well, not me.
There's more people in this room, Barbara, than leaflets went out. Put it that way.
And as it happened, I forgot to say that, I asked on Facebook, could you please tell me who's got leaflets? I named all the streets, and it was no. And I realised
Everybody's putting their hands up online.
I know some had some along with.
Everybody's putting their hands up, look.
All right. I know where they went. They went from Jolly Tar, Coppull Lane, Chapel Lane,
Okay.
Peter Spenmore Lane, and just
Is
a
this
few
gentleman going to
extra.
come back in?
I hope so. And you know why that is, don't you? Because that was to put the fear of God of people regarding the lorries. It was just rubbish. Right.
We need this man
If
in.
anybody goes downstairs and they ask you to fill in for me,
I've got them here.
just no, don't mean that form. I mean, oh, is that
Yeah.
what they're doing?
Yeah.
Just put in
No green belt.
green belt protected.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Green belt.
Nothing else.
There's no green belt. No green belt development.
So has anybody not got one?
Okay. Is this gentleman coming in? I can't remember Sorry.
Can I just say something now? Excuse me. Quiet. We've moved up here because there wasn't enough room downstairs and it was getting a bit out of hand. And we approached them to say, well, can we have the consultation upstairs? Initially they said no, they didn't want to come, but they're now willing to come up and give their version. So I think it's only right that we let them come in and say what they have to say. So if they want to come in,
Sorry, just trying to get higher. Am I red? I'm boiling.
Roy, the room is booked in 20 minutes though, so the last 2 weeks.
I thought we had it till 7:15. Do we have until 7:15?
he doesn't want to take part, he just wants to be involved in this consultation. The battle.
And we need your help.
Be quiet. We've just got to keep this going until, even if it comes up to an application, we've got to keep it going and make sure it's defeated.
Really sorry guys, if you wanted to ask them more questions, they've just refused to come into the room. Now we've moved upstairs to a bigger room, because as you can see, we wouldn't have been able to fit this amount of people in their tiny room. This is amazing. Look at the children! I'm still filming. Look at it! Look at it going!
You're supposed to be local council,
I know, but I moved.
I'm the old woman shortlist. You know that, don't you? Taking over from me. Or is it on the...
No, we're not live. Everybody can hear what you're saying.
I need to point the camera at me.
Okay, go on.
We need more fans.
93, 94. If you've just tuned in, guys, there's lots of people just tuning in right now. The gentlemen have been, and we've been downstairs in a really, really small room. Not everybody could fit in, so we hired ourselves a room upstairs, brought all the plans upstairs, and requested that they came up. Initially, they were interested in coming up. However, they've just decided to go home. And they don't want to talk to us now. We've been really nice and polite and haven't said anything. But it's really important that we have as much support going forward as we possibly can. There is still a chance, I think, to put your name on the petition if you come down, and also on the leaflet that they've got. And we're just saying, put "This is Greenbelt, no housing."
So please, if you can, get onto that Facebook site, get yourself made a member on that, so that the information is coming through to you. Okay? Alright, and anything that you can think of, please put that on the Facebook site. Any ideas apart from shopping? Facebook site.
Yeah. Facebook site. Oh. And follow us on Facebook. Save our Greenbelt at Yew Tree Farm. Save our Greenbelt at Yew Tree Farm.
You just type that into Facebook.
Put that in the search at the top, it'll come up. Yeah.
Save our Greenbelt. No, not on Facebook.
On Facebook, okay. Yeah, so it's just, do you want me to have got a pen?
No.
Are you signing it? No, Bill, are you wanting that to be a nice plaque now?
picnic garden.
Yeah.
You pass me that pen?
I've seen you doing your talk.
Can I write it down?
I want one of them in my front garden back tomorrow tea time.
I think we need to get them put up outside every single house that we can.
Bottom of Lancaster Street, Station Road, bungalow on corner. Won't get one in my front garden.
Are you Erica's mum? Not Erica's mum. No. Okay, wrong one. Same free bell. So it seems that everybody is. The agent has gone home, yes, Diane. Either that or he's gone downstairs. You may still have an opportunity to come and ask him questions if you want to. Yeah, I think so. Ask. Anthony, me too. Thank you. You might actually be better off handing him yourself. If I do it, then he might think that I faked it. Like, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have faked what do you know what I mean? I don't want to do a group because he could say I put loads of different names on it. Hand it in downstairs, I think. It's just I don't want to do it in case. Anyway, downstairs, Louise. Hello. Yeah, let's see what's happening downstairs. Let's see if he's still here. If anybody's got any questions, write them now, and then we can get your phone to get your soul. Excuse my children in the background. We need, like, you know, okay, let's go downstairs. Are they downstairs? My mum? Mum's back, I'm going downstairs. Okay, we're going down. This is our lovely lady who's done a petition. Thank you. Susan Elizabeth. What's your name?
Lindsay, the petition maker.
I don't think there is.
Oh no. I will get the
Okay. Hello. We're streaming live on Facebook, so be careful what you say. Let's go back here. Is he speaking? Sort of. Can I just come through? Is anything happening in here?
No.
Why? It's a young. Okay, I'm not.
Is that where we're getting the form?
Are you okay to yes, well, you just thought. You just thought you're against the...
Can I have one?
These are for them to take back.
I'm not allowed to film him now. He's refusing to be filmed. Cowards, yeah.
Still streaming.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be filmed anymore. I don't think he was expecting this, was he? But there's more and more. There's just more constantly. More people. Okay. But I know it's amazing. It's wonderful. We've got 70 people online now. Where have you gone? Everybody's going hunting. Oh, sorry.
Will you can write on it?
I can write it. I know I need to write mine, don't I?
No, it's for me.
Oh, this guy.
Who's Michael Sam?
It's turned the tables really. So why can't I film him now? Has he just said that?
No, he didn't want to be filmed and he just said he's not carrying on because he, I said, why didn't you come upstairs? He said, because it's a private meeting. I said, no, well you were asked to come upstairs to address the meeting. And I said, why did you not have a bigger room? Because there's a few people living out there. Anyway,
So, I'm going in.
we're going out.
Everybody's handing their leaflets in of what they want to say. I need to fill mine in.
Yeah, you know, with the string round the corner. Yeah.
That's just some of the comments on the petition.
So where do these go? Who gets these?
What we do is, we scan them and they go in with the application.
Right.
And then obviously when the application goes in, if anybody wants to make a comment on the council's website, they can do
How do we
that.
know that these are going to go in?
Because it's part of public consultation. And you've seen them anyway, and they will be, they'll all be summarised. They'll all be summarised and sent in. Because that's what you do.
Well, we did a
Anybody
show
who
of
sent
hands.
anything in on the info website number, those come to pass on as well. We don't not do it.
They weren't consulted though, were they? Nobody.
He's painted about it.
I spoke to as many
Thanks a
people
lot.
as was in here.
People hadn't come upstairs where everybody was.
Because you were having your own meeting.
No, we weren't. We were waiting and we asked you to come in.
No, we
Yeah,
were
but-
invited here. We were invited here. If you've done anything underhanded by not delivering it,
We asked you to come in and you said no. No.
No.
You can't take my phone off me.
Right, well they did before.
Uh,
It was fine before, so you don't.
He was fine before. I asked him before and he gave his permission. Okay, well I'm facing this way and I'm listening.
But would you please ask these people, do they want their pictures?
I think they're all quite fine with it.
Yeah, take out the pictures you
If
want.
you go on Facebook,
Because you can get sued for it.
right.
So as long as you
And
know,
when I
that's
walked in the
fine.
room, I said I'm live streaming. And I said, watch the video.
Can I also just say,
And you can contact the police regarding that and
excuse
they'll
me,
see.
it is a public meeting, so she's entitled to do that.
I have 74 people watching this.
They
who
will
are
always
interested.
say to you, would you mind if we take pictures of your notes? Because people in the room don't want you to know they're there. They always ask.
She's live streaming.
Do you work, who do you work for? So you've got only the leisure centre can tell her not to photograph or take video.
Any member of
No,
public.
no, it can't. Well, that's where you're wrong.
No, he's looked into it. He's a photographer. He's a photographer.
That's where you're wrong.
So he knows. He looked into
My
it.
brother-in-law's a photographer.
It doesn't make
If
any
you've nothing to
difference.
hide, you won't be
Well, it
worried.
doesn't matter. Yeah, well, they stopped him in London. You don't need a
So what
license.
happens when the press just turn up, which is what my brother was on about, which you think was bricking somebody's window, was when the press turn up to somebody and they just start filming them straight away and you get them. How did Panorama cope if that's the case?
That's right. Susan, can you just make sure you get a recording of the pile of papers that we've handed in?
Yeah, can we have a look? Let's have a look at all these.
Where's the petitions? That's all been
Excellent, more and more. Okay.
Well, all the petitions that we've handed in.
a book of petition comments.
There we go, there's mine.
Can we have a look, please?
There's mine. Frank Hayes says, everybody get your phones out and film. Anyway.
No, sorry.
Shall we go?
I just wondered if you cared to read some of them comments. No, like out loud.
So have you got some supporting ones in there then?
No idea, we're not ready.
That's what I'm interested in.
I am publicly objecting now.
Okay, I'm not facing you. Okay, I'm not facing you now. I'm not taking your picture, it's live streaming.
It's the same thing.
I'm not facing you now. You now you stated I'm now not facing you.
Worldwide. I've not come here, I've not accepted that. I may take.
You're not on LinkedIn then?
Yes.
You're on the internet worldwide. Anyway.
Yeah. My choice. No.
Okay, I've now stopped filming you, and if you're happy, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. I'm going to have to leave the room now because obviously he doesn't want to be filmed.
Lovely to see you again, Jill.
You jumped over me with the camera.
See you soon. The next one.
All right then.
See you later. Lovely to meet you.
You too.
I'll see you soon.
Bye. Right, guys. I think that's the end of it now. Sorry, it got a bit debated at the end, but I don't like somebody grabbing hold of me, which he did. Grabbed hold of me and of my phone, trying to take it off me, which I could have probably got him done for that. I mean, that was pretty physical, and I've got the evidence of all the people in there. Anyway, so this is me. This is Susan Miller from You Save the Green Belt at YouTube Farm. Bye. And I don't know how to turn it off.